Aloha TCG family, Chargal Lori here, back from vacation. I am so happy to be back with y'all, and we're going to start with SPY. Well, Nuggets bouncing now for any of you that took that bottom fishing trade with Dan, which I did. Awesome trade. So SPY now has not broken this 298.26. It's holding it right now by 5 pennies. And I don't see that SPY is going to break that low right now. I'm sure a lot of you saw that I was looking at this. So um, this is SPY over here, then XLF, QQQ, and XLV. So sometimes I'll put all four charts on one screen so I can kind of see what's going on. So with SPY over here, we have not made a new low of day. Neither has QQQ. So unless XLF and QQQ roll over, I don't expect to see a new low of day on SPY, but QQQ has become dangerously close. So for me, if I wanted a tell on SPY, I would be watching this QQQ support of 192.41. And then resistance on QQQ, 193.17. XLF, we have resistance at, I can't see it. Let me put it over here. XLF, we have resistance at 28.24, and then we have a new little support trying to form at 28.19, 28.18. I've got, let's call it an area of resistance here. I love drawing these rectangles just to give me a nice, fresh perspective. We got an area of support in this level for XLF. So with XLF strength, it's helping carry the weight of SPY with QQQ making lows. And then again, as we talk about weekly, look at this Bollinger Band. It's flat right now. This is when we have premium that's really, really tight. Premium crush. This is the time to buy SPY calls or puts. If you have an edge indicating whether it should be going up or down before the Bollinger Band curls up or down, increase in implied volatility, which premium goes up. So on the 5-minute, we could be looking for a Bollinger Band curl in either direction. Whichever Bollinger Band price is closest to gives an indication as to what direction SPY would be going, or price would be going. In this case, XLF. If price were closer to the upper Bollinger Band and we were to get a curl, we would expect a move to the upside. And if price were closer to the lower Bollinger Band and we got a curl, we would expect a move to the downside. Just a few tips and tricks. They're not hard and fast rules, just something to help you. Let's look over here again. QQQ trying to hold the low of day, and XLV is safely at least about a 0.5% above the low of day at the moment. So watching QQQ. All right, let's go get started with commodities. US oil. I like US oil on the 15-minute. We've got this area of support again in this 55.85, 55.84 area on US oil. So we have a higher high, a higher low, and then we got a tightening formation. So short-term resistance 56.27, then 56.38, support at that level 55.84, and then 55.72. Nat gas, oh, that's a nice little pop on nat gas. So nat gas, we had this double bottom area of 2295, and then we just got a break of resistance of 2308. The next resistance on the 15-minute is 233, so it's $2.33. So the nat gas bulls want this to happen on higher volume. So this candle just opened 3 minutes ago, so we have 12 minutes until this candle closes, and this needs to happen on higher volume in order to indicate that we're getting some type of traction on a nat gas move. Bitcoin is bearish, attempting to make a 15-minute lower low. I would excuse this wick here. It did happen on higher volume, but then immediately sold off. So your next support on Bitcoin, 9865. And then 92606. I'm sure Dan's gone over this on the video. I was just looking at the weekly earlier, and the 12 EMA just had a perfect back touch last week. We'd like to see this 12 EMA hold on weekly 9265. Again, refer back to Dan's videos for a longer term and shorter term outlook. Okay, so Bitcoin. Okay, gold. Gold could be a bear flag. It's trying to negate it right now in the 15-minute. That was a little bit of a, That was a decent bounce, rejecting at the EMA. Right now we have support at 14.1970 and then 14.1710. And then on the 5-minute, we have resistance at 14.2552 and 14.2851. My commitment to myself is that I'm going to be better at covering the right side of the chart. So that's what we as technical analysts, that's why I'm here, is to help you fill in the blanks over here. This is what I'm here for, and that's what you're here for, is to learn how to figure out the most likely scenario on the right side. So before I leave gold, let's go over that. So we had this low at 14.10, and then we had this high at 14.30.23. So the most likely scenario on the hourly is an EQ. We've pulled back too much to be a bull flag, so we'd expect some type of tightening in here. So the most likely scenario is an EQ, especially this happened on higher bear volume, this pullback on gold. So if I forget to give you the right side of the chart in most likely scenario, feel free to prompt me, because I definitely want to get better at that. Because that is what we all need to be honing our skills on. And just another observation, QQQ is resting on this 50 MA on the hourly. It's sandwiched neatly between the 100 MA and the 50 MA. I really think these are still very important moving averages that we need to keep on our charts. Did it just make a new low of day? Yes, and the bulls are trying to save it. So QQQ with a new low of day, I would expect some more bearish action on SPY if this low had followed through on QQQ. Okay, CGC. CGC, what a move. So we had the high at 35.25, then this low of 34.46. I would expect a lower high relative to 35.25, and then some type of EQ pattern. Let me see if I can make this work. Let's see. Probably not. No, don't have enough points. I'm really liking this triangle function over here on TradingView. So when you click over here, it is going to be the triangle pattern, and it can kind of help you figure out this EQ. So as you can see, my squiggly lines on CGC kind of matched up with this triangle pattern. So it just kind of helps. And that would be a break right before the close of 12:15 if this pattern were to tighten up into close. So excuse me, that's 12:15 Pacific Standard Time. So again, that's the triangle pattern over here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 icons down on TradingView, and I'm really liking it to help me estimate time. So that's CGC. Let's go over GDX, which is our nugget play. Okay, so GDX, again, this will also, likely scenario on the right side is some type of EQ. So also, well, back up, Lori. So what the bulls want to see is a higher bounce up to the EMAs and then tighten up and negate the bear flag. If we don't get a higher bounce than this, a bear flag is very likely on GDX, which is the underlying for nugget. Let me show you what that means in nugget land. So in nugget, let's do some estimations here. So this pull on this flag, 36.68, is $3. Okay, so $2.93. 30% of that is 90 cents. So we wouldn't need a 90-cent bounce from the bottom. So that would be 34.50, which we got that in order for the bear flag to be in play. So that would be actually about 35.60. And if we stop out right in there, then that means a bear flag is likely for some more bear follow through. If we can bounce higher than 34.60, then an EQ is most likely on nugget. Shorter term time frames on nugget, your resistance is the high of this bounce, 34.50. And then 35.45, and your low, I'm going to give you a 2-minute support, 34.01, and then 33.75. All right, Cura. Cura has been an ish show this morning. Okay, so 15-minute EQ most likely. Best case scenario for the bulls happened, okay? So we had this open here, and then we had that all-out dump. We had an amazing bounce that negated the bear flag, and now the bulls are looking for a higher low relative to 897 and then a tightening pattern. So on the shorter term time frames, Your support is 915 and your resistance 978 and 1012. So 915 and then the low of day 897. Support on Cura. BITF. Very low liquidity. Looks like it's an IPO on the TSX. Your low of day, $1.91 is your support. And look over here, $1.90 hit twice yesterday. That is a key level. If I were in this long, if like $1.89 was lost, I'd give it a penny. I would be out for risk to reward. Your next support after that is $1.58. If you're bottom fishing, $1.91, $1.90, keep a tight stop on that, in my opinion. And 212 and 218 are your short-term resistances. Hi, Chili. CMG. Okay, just checking things out, see how things are going. Okay, so CMG. Does a 15-minute give us clarity? Looks like a possible bear flag, yes. So the bears are not getting followed through, nor are the bulls. We're kind of, let's see, having an inside bar, obviously. So we got this bull break here with no follow through, which increases the likelihood of a bear flag is what is most likely scenario. And you can even see here another bearish formation. Let me show you. This has a little bear flag. Excuse me, head and shoulders, even though it broke to a lower low on this side, still kind of head and shouldery. So your support 730.33 and 728.06. Your resistance 735.43 and then the high of day 747.18. It really needs to break 735.43 with gusto in order for the bulls to have hope that we're negating this hourly bear flag here. So right now, struggling with EMAs on the 5-minute with CMG. And again, lunchtime lull. The lunchtime lull is a hard time to place trades because you just really need the volume in order to get your trade working. And right now, they just don't have any. So for a short-term clue, Chili, maybe watch CMG Bollinger Bands and or RSI trend lines to give you a clue as to what is happening with CMG and what's your edges. But again, it's kind of flat right now due to low volume. Netflix. Poor Netflix bulls. Okay. On the 15-minute, they're trying to hold this low of the day, 307.55. It just stopped at 307.55. The bulls would love to see some traction here. We held the low of yesterday, so we're just basically tightening up. I have so many different. So we held the low of yesterday. We're tightening up. I'm trying to find the best. 15-minute is just the best view. So your support's 307.55 and 307.75. Your resistance is 309.85, then 310 psych, and then the high of day 313.50. Netflix bulls want to see some more bulls come to their bull party. Right now, this is really, really low volume. Let's see. It's the average volume on Netflix. The average volume is 7.9 million. We're at 4.4, so not bad. But yesterday, just in comparison, so you can see yesterday we had 17.7 million volume on Netflix, and today we are at 4. So low volume on Netflix. Bulls want to see some friends show up in order to get anything going on. Okay, beyond. Need another sip of coffee. Need to wake up, Lori. Beyond. 15-minute. Hourly, we're still in an uptrend. The low of day needs to hold in order to stay in an uptrend. Most likely scenario is an equilibrium. So we got this high, 208.48. Got this low, 194.24. I would expect a tightening range. We got a good bounce going, negating a potential of a bear flag. So this could give us a good trade. I'm going to write this down. This could give us a good trade in the next 2 hours or so. That's when it would be coming to a crescendo or a climax for this tightening pattern. See if I can Give it time. It's hard with only 3 points. Yeah, that's not ideal. Okay, so that is beyond. Oh wait, let me give you supports and resistances. You got an immediate rejection on the 50 MA at 201 is your resistances. Then after 201 is the high of day, 208.48, and then supports 196.56 and 194.24. Just remember that $200 psychological on, let's see, so on the upside or downside, those can give you good trades. As far as a flush of 200 or a pop over 200, I like playing those. But that requires a specific, I shouldn't say, I don't want to say skill, but I really do like doing psychological flips because you can typically get 50 to 75 cents out of them on a stock priced at this level. Okay, Soli. $15-minute EQ. We have supports at 1392 and 1357. We have resistance at 1468 and then a double top at the high of day, 1590, 1588. What the bulls would love to see is to have this 1428 established as a new low, but we have to make a new high above 1449 in order for this 1428 to be our low, and they're testing it right now. Happening on really low volume. Hopefully, if you're trying to trade this one, that it'll stay in an EQ. You want these things to stay in an EQ until lunch break is over. Then when lunch break is over, you have a better setup because it's happening on volume. So right now, Soli is too low a volume for me to play a break either way. So I think I gave all the levels there. Hi, Lion. Cost. Wow, what a dump. Okay, low of day is holding. So we've got an hourly bear flag attempting to form right now on Costco. I would keep it on the 15-minute in order to look how this trade's going to develop. So we had the high of day 282.08. Then we dropped to low of day 279.02. And then the bulls are really playing come body right now with these EMAs. So they got a throat punch at the 12 EMA, and they're really trying to get over it to negate this bear flag. So on the 5-minute, your support is 279.05 and 279.02. If I were in a long bottom fishing this, I'd give it a couple pennies wiggle room, 279 psychological, and then I'd pull the plug on it. After 279 psychological, you have 27890, and then 27601 support. And on the 15-minute, you have resistance at 279.84 and 280.05. Watch that 12 EMA on the 15-minute. It's really acting as a strong resistance. Square. Just looking for clarity. Hourly, we got a bear break. Without a lot of follow through, the bulls bought that dip, but they're not really getting any traction. Beautiful 15-minute EQ. I love what you're watching, Gains. You always find the best EQs. So right now, EQ, we have the high of the day, 7937, low of the day, 7786. You couldn't draw it any better than this. Lower high at 7895, and then we have a higher low attempting to form at 7810. This isn't set yet. It needs to get past the high of this candle, 7838, in order for this higher low to be set and then tighten on up. Let's see if we can get a triangle out of this one. See if I can use my handy dandy new tool. Assuming that this low would hold, then that would be a break within the next 2 hours of this tightening pattern on square. I like what you're watching. I like that volume's falling off, which we expect to see during an equilibrium pattern. Trading kind of slows, and then when we have a break, volume pulls up. So on square, I think I gave you all the levels. Shop. Another beautiful EQ. I like what you're watching. Okay, so bulls are trying to make this hold at 329.03 and then 328.60. You have resistance at 334.80 and 338.96. The reason I'm hesitating, Gains, is this is what I'm looking at. This was some pretty heavy bear volume. So for me, when I see this heavy bear volume, I am very hesitant or reticent, both words I guess are applicable, to play a bull break because I see that these bears are hungry. Even though the bulls did a fabulous job of holding the low of day, I would just, yeah, that's a lot of bear volume. So I would be more apt to take a bear trade on shop versus a bull trade because this bear volume over here. So I just know that bears have memory, bulls have memory. So that's just another tip on how I trade equilibrium breaks. Is it doesn't mean that a bull break wouldn't get followed through. I would wait for a bear break or no trade at all because of the opening volume. The bears showed their hand, so to say. So they're really wanting this 32903 to hold and 32860 the low of day. After 32860, your next support is 328 psychological and actual. Apple. Okay, Apple's getting squeezed right here at the 12 EMA and the middle Bollinger Band. All this shenanigans, is it happening on lower bear volume slightly? We had a low of day, a new low of day without a lot of follow through. The bulls are liking that. Again, the bears showed their hand over here, in my opinion, with high bear volume. I would be more inclined to take a bear trade than a bull trade. And if I didn't get a bear trade, then I would take nothing at all. But that's just my style. That doesn't mean your style won't work. So right now we have low of day 207.29. Then we have this wick at 206.71 happen on no volume, so I would disregard it. So 207.29 and then 206.14. Your resistance on short-term time frames, 207.37 and 308.26. As you can see, we got this little, you see this little Bollinger Band curl. Price was close to the lower Bollinger Band, and then we got bear follow through. All right. I think I gave you all the levels there. Deer. Wait, I didn't go over right side of the chart. You're supposed to remind me. Okay, we got a bear break. So on the hourly, we're still in an uptrend though. Let's turn off extended hours. Oh yeah, we're still in an uptrend. Safe uptrend on Apple, so still bullish. On the hourly, the 4-hour, 12-hour, what a squeeze. I haven't covered TTM squeezes before, but this Bollinger Band squeeze here, I think it's Bulkowski that came up with the TTM squeeze. It's a pretty cool little edge or trick, if you will. So yeah, Apple is bullish on the hourly. So without a lot of bear follow through on this bear break, this could be a potential bullish trade and bottom fish. I wouldn't take it though because it's not so obvious to me. Again, because we had that bear volume at opening. Okay, deer. Ho, ho, ho. Y'all see what gets me excited. Oh, this is so tight. I love it. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful EQ. Okay. So we have a low trying to establish right here at 16691 and then 16669. And then you have resistances at 16708 and 16731. Wow. SPY moving on up because this QQQ bear break that we noted earlier got no follow through. So that gave us a clue on what was going to happen with SPY. So on deer, nice and tight. And Bollinger Bands are super duper tight, tight, tight. So I would watch the Bollinger Bands and then maybe RSI could develop some trend line maybe on a 2-minute to give you a clue. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So right here, let's double click on it and get you an actual RSI trend line. That may give you a clue right here as to what deer is going to do in the short on this EQ. It may give you an early heads up. Okay, deer, 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 deer. There's my deer, Jules. Twilio. Got a lower low on the day without a lot of follow through. That's pretty bullish. 4-hour bearish engulfing. 15-minute. At this point, the way that they responded to this low of 143.48, I would kind of treat it like a 15-minute EQ pattern at the moment. After the low of day, your next support 143.36 and 143.31. Your resistances are 146.05 and then 148.99, the high of day. I need to turn my extended hours back on. Still overall bearish chart and a downtrend on Twilio. So just be careful. If we get a bull break of 146.05 without a lot of follow through, then that could be potential of a bear flag. So just be cautious of that on Twilio. Zine. Jay and Stargazer are interested in Zine. Beautiful, beautiful EQ. I would disregard this little wick here. I would just say that we're in an EQ, and here are 4 main levels. The high of day, 12.15, and then 12.04, your resistances and your support, 11.63 and 11.35. Hourly, we are still in a downtrend, and EMAs are acting as resistances, throat punch, karate chop to the neck, and the carotid on the side with the middle Bollinger Band. So looking very bear flaggy on Zine. Okay, so when we say looking a little bear flaggy, then again, what do we need to be careful of? We need to be careful of bull breaks with no follow through. So bull break, no follow through, be cautious. Could be a top fishing opportunity because all these shenanigans are happening on low bear volume. They are asleep. Those are Z's, by the way. I need to find a better tool to draw with that doesn't make me look like I have freaking Parkinson's or something. Okay, U.S. oil. No offense to anyone who has Parkinson's. We are still in a nice EQ. So I would say we have this lower low, 55.72. We've got this high, 56.38. We have this low, 55.87. And then we have a lower high at 56.26. I trade commodities a ton, so I have learned to disregard these wicks as far as taking trades or bear breaks or bull breaks on the wicks. I like to pay more attention to the bodies. Let me show you what I mean. You see how that gives you better levels on oil? So 55.81 and 55.88 are your bodies. For support and your resistances, 56.20 and 56.34. It just makes for a little bit better and cleaner trading if you can look at areas of resistance, i.e. bodies of the candles versus wicks, because commodities can be very, very tricky and wick you out often. And wick you out meaning that they stop you out. Okay, lottery penny stop for Cajun Canadian. Is it a gradu? Let's see if he's really Cajun Canadian and does he know what gradu means? Okay, I know you're really Canadian. Just kidding. You may not know. The Louisiana version of gradu. Okay, 50 MA SmackDown or REEMF. Let me see if I can get a nice time frame for you. Multiple inside bars, just making it nice and clear, crystal clear inside bars. That's the clearest I can, that's the best look that I like. Let's see. 36 is your high of the last inside bar, and 31 cents is your low. So 36 cents would be a bull break on REEMF. 31 cents would be a bear break. That keeps it nice and simple. Okay, GS. Amazon's still down. Just checking things out, man. IIPR. Let me just stop for a second, guys. Y'all help me remember where I am. GS. IIPR may be getting a psychological flush right here. $100 held. I'd be in for a flip if we flush $100. So I'm going to keep that up over to the side. GS. Middle Bollinger Band has been its BFF on the 5-minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 kisses on the Middle Bollinger Band on the 5-minute for GS. Obviously a really important level for the algorithms, and we are skating above the upper Bollinger Band, and your RSI is extended. Your RSI is 73 on the hourly and 70 on the 4-hour. So on the 15-minute, I like trading these. It's kind of tricky, but it's just one of my better trade setups. I wish this were a prettier pennant, like get a lower high and then a higher low and tighten up over here to get a bull flag pennant going. And I wish RSI wasn't extended, but I like bottom fishing bear breaks with no follow through. So a bear break would be 217.30 is your short-term support. So if we would break to, let's say, 217.16, which is your 12 EMA on the 15-minute, I find those to be good long levels. And then I have another level over here of 216.57 I could use as my stop to try to go long and catch the continuation of this bull flag. I just don't like these upper wicks, don't like the RSI, but just want to paint a picture of how I like to trade. So your short-term levels support 217.30 and 216.57, your resistance 218.55, and then after that all the way up at 234.06. Nice bull move. This is happening on lower bull volume, so bulls need to be a little bit cautious here because they need friends to show up. Man, was that a beautiful RSI trend line. Let me show y'all what I mean. So here we had a nice falling wedge. Well, it wasn't perfect. We didn't get 3 touches. We got 3 touches on the bottom, where we had this falling wedge, and then we had a bull break. That was nice on the daily. So GS, I think I gave you my levels on that. All right, Blue, my boy Blue. You always ask about Blue JR stats, and I didn't skip you today. Okay, Blue is charging toward resistance of 320. If I were in this trade, what would I want to see happen? We got a bull break on the hourly. We got higher high, higher low. Beautiful chart. On the 5-minute, you have supports at 303 and 302. Your resistance is 320. Well, the high of day 317, then 320, then 335. This is a very bullish setup, and we want this bull volume to keep pouring in. If you're top fishing, you could top fish 320. If you are in long, I would use this EMA as my spirit guide. As long as this EMA holds, I'd be in long. Candle close below, I would exit it. Just keep it simple, people. A lot of times, all of us, including myself, we make things harder than they should be, but this doesn't have to be difficult. Oh, IIPR got that 100 flush and then a quick $1.30 pop up. I missed it, so I'm just going to pass on the trade. I was ready to do a live trade today. Decided I need to start going for it and quit holding back. I've been doing live enough that I should be able to trade, but I missed that one. Man, nice hammer forming right now on the 5-minute on IIPR. Okay, back to my friend JR. Who shot JR? SZLS. That's a shizzle show. No problem, Cajun. You can just see these shelves that are forming right here. So they're buying up this 13-cent bid, and then they were putting their handbags up here on 145, so 14.5 cents. I'm trying to. Okay, so we have a gap over here at 12.5 cents. That has not filled. So you could possibly look for gap fill as a possible bottom fish, but if it were me, I'd wait till it got closer to 10.5 or 10 cents, but this is just not liquid enough for me to trade. So your supports are the low of day, 13 cents, and you got the gap fill at 12.5, and then your next support, 10.5. Your resistances are 14.5 and 15 cents. Ugly, ugly. Dirty land. Oh, yes. Gradu is the trash in the corner. So in Louisiana, the gradu is what you just like you're sweeping and it's just the trash in the corner. Yes. Merci beaucoup. Okay. Where am I? Do y'all know where I am? STLC. Steel. Oh, nice Bollinger Band curl there. 4 hour RSI is not extended. 1 hour is. 15-minute coming in. Possible bull flag. Okay, this is another one of those setups, y'all. So let's see. So we made a lower high at 1533, and then we have resistance at 1534. We have support at 1524, a bear break of 1524 without a lot of resistance. Excuse me, I was just trying to read and talk at the same time. Obviously, I'm too redneck for that. So 1524, a support break of that without a lot of follow through could confirm this 1 hour bull flag. So be careful long if you're in this long and you got in over here. Be careful on fake outs on this flag formation because we got this beautiful bull volume over here and we got decreasing bear volume on this pullback, exactly what the bulls want to see. This is just absolutely beautiful bull flag formation. So after the high of day, your next resistance is 1561. So nice. A lot of these steel names are getting some love. Okay, where am I? Why do I keep getting lost? It's not like the thread's that long. Cannabis Heritage. Next major resistance level. I'm just not seeing a pattern. Matt, I don't see it. I just don't see a pattern. Let me make sure I'm... Okay, so your next major resistance is 64 cents. An ascending channel. Oh, okay. Wait, let me see if I see that. Okay, yes. I see it now. So I've talked about algorithmic. This is not as clear. Delete. Algo lines. I've talked about these before. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. But it could be a rising wedge. So just cautious, Matt. So what you can do is you connect two wicks, and it's pretty complicated. It's like a whole thing, and then that third wick, it pushed through. So technically we want to have 3 wicks touching the line in order for it to be a valid line, but sometimes it just kind of pokes through with no follow through. So that resistance line is still valid. So yes, we have somewhat of an ascending channel, but because it's triangular in nature, then it's more of a rising wedge. So just caution there. So your next major resistance right now is 64 cents on the daily. Now, let me give you some 15-minute or hourly. Hourly, we're in an uptrend. Your RSI is 74, okay? So just be cautious there. 4 hours, 72. Daily is not quite overbought. So hourly is just giving me the best clarity after high of day, 58 cents, then it's 59 and 62. Your supports on the 15-minute are 55 cents and then 51 cents. So I see what you're talking about, but it's less of a channel and more of an rising wedge. So just be a little cautious there. And it doesn't have that perfect little zigzag that we like to see with rising wedge. So I wouldn't say it's textbook either. So, but I see what you see. Okay, so what's next? Zion I already looked at. What's going on with SPY? SPY next resistance 298.99. Again, we had that bear break without a lot of follow through. Okay. Roku. Oh, 24 RSI on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 19 hourly. We're oversold on hourly time frame and down. Your next support 103.77. Okay, I like that kind of hold 103.63. I would call that a double bottom with 103.77, but if I were bottom fishing this, that 103.63 would have to hold come hell or high water, or I'd be out long. On the 5-minute, your next resistance 104.82 and 106.58. Karate chops at the EMA all day. Yeah, you could bottom fish the low of day right here. And your next support after low of day is 102.68. I'm putting this on my list. Shoot, what was that other one I said I wanted to watch? I didn't write it down. Okay, so I like this for potential bottom fish, low of day. But tight stop, this is very bearish, but RSI is extremely oversold. And SPY needs to go our way. So I don't just willy-nilly take these type of bottom fish off the low of day unless SPY is going my way. Possible bull break here would help me want to take Roku bottom fish. So I need to have things going in the right direction for me for my trade to play out or for me to take a trade. Okay. SZ. LS. Oh, good, JR. No, you're the best, JR. Yes, I'm a redneck. Yep, my figure of speech. I've been out the country for 12 years. Can you imagine what it sounded like 12 years ago? If you have time at the end after everyone had their tickers. Okay, no problem, TP. No problem, Matt. Okay, RSI divergence. Oh, here was a perfect RSI divergence right here, JR. So price went to a lower low and RSI did not. So on SPY, this is a perfect example of divergence. So price hit 298.26, bounced up, went to a lower low at 298.22. Yet RSI had a lower low, bounced up, and went to a higher low. So this is RSI divergence textbook. I'm going to copy this for you, JR, and I'm going to place it in our thread so you'll have it. All right, if you have any follow-up questions, JR, just let me know. All right, now I'm just going to go around the room, go around the horn, and make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. IIPR. Man, I wish that daily were oversold. That'd make me feel even more confident in these oversold bounces or bottom fish. Okay, after low of day, your next support is 98.74 on IIPR. So IIPR is definitely one I'm going to keep on watch for potential trades. And what did I say? Roku. Now let's go back to where we started. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Okay, so XLF is attempting to make a higher high. QQQ and SPY did the same thing where it broke to lower lows and then wicked out real quick where the bulls bought the dip, and XLF is bailing everybody out. Okay, let's see if Roku respects the yellow line. All right, threads. What would be bearish, divergence, and bullish? Okay, so bearish would be the opposite. So, like right now we have bullish divergence on Roku. So to use Roku, I can't use it as an example, but if price were to make higher highs and RSI make lower lows, so basically opposite. IIPR had bullish divergence. So basically it's saying that if RSI would drop to a lower low, let me just kind of draw it. So if RSI would drop to a lower low, yet price is dropping to a higher low, that would be bearish divergence. And you often see that in when you're making higher highs or lower highs. So over here, so 105.20 dropped to a lower low. And then we went to a lower high. If that RSI would be lower high and price was higher high, then that would be divergent. So basically opposite of bullish. I don't know if I made any sense whatsoever, but made sense to me. Oh, no problem, Charles. Oh, and I remembered to record it today, so 2 points for me. Roku, CMG, VIX, double bottom, multiple bottoms. What does Sarah have going? Okay, let's see what UVIX's got going. 25.25, multi-bottom on UVIXY for potential bottom fish. But this kind of stuff, y'all got to stop out quick because this has got decay and the bulls are in control right now of SPY. So just be careful on that. And SPY is responding to that bullish divergence. On the 5-minute, your next resistance, 298.77, and then 298.91, and it's trying not to have the karate chop to the neck of the 50 MA. So earlier today, I was noticing on the 5-minute, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts at the 5-minute 50 MA. And right now, SPY is attempting for the first close above, all day above the 50 MA. And looky loo, we got a little Bollinger Band curl on SPY 5-minute. Let's see if it leads to something. Oh, thank you, RCW. Yeah, I have a lot of friends that call me the Southern Belle as well. Okay. I'm just going to stay here for a second, see if anybody else has any questions. Was that CGC I said would look to tighten up? Yeah, that was the other one. Oh, wow. Oh, well, it tightened up and it had a moonshot. Well, there you go. Your next resistance besides high of day is 35.55, 35.65. On the hourly, we're made a higher high, so that increases our odds that our daily higher low is in. We really need it to happen on the 4-hour as well. On CGC, did it do it? Nope, still double top on the 4-hour. 35.45, 35.46. Double top on the 4-hour. We really need to clear that for the bulls to feel comfortable that our daily higher low is in. Yep, the banks are strong. What's BAC? Ugh. That trade would have worked out. I was looking at this 29.57 bull break yesterday, but it didn't clear this 29.61 at double top there, so I didn't take the bull break trade, and then it gapped up today. Nice for any of you back bulls. All right. Your support on SPY, 298.42 and 298.22. QQQ is making 5-minute higher highs, confirming this uptrend faster than SPY. So that gives us a clue that it's most likely to happen with SPY as well. Nobody asked about Amazon, but I'm going to look at it anyway. Amazon trying to bounce. And reverse the downtrend. It reversed it. It has confirmed uptrend on the 2-minute. 5-minute is just not as neat. We would want a higher low relative to 1973.13, and then continuation. Your next resistance 1986.95 and 1989. You've been lazy, JR. It looks to me like you've been doing just fine. I don't see any laziness. Okay, anything else fun and exciting? NG. I need you to get a move on, NG. Five-minute higher highs, higher lows. Awesome. I bottom fished this earlier, this 2291. Again, that just shows you how nat gas, these commodities wick out. So as you can see, 22292 was broken by 0.001 and then it just bounced right up. So we have a confirmed uptrend on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. On the hourly, we're still looking for a higher low relative to, a lower high relative to 2328. So the bulls would like to change that trend, but we'll see what they got up their sleeve. Devon calls are active. DV in. I'm just seeing out the side of corner of my eye. These calls are active. Oy vey. Trying to negate this bear flag. Earnings on DVN are August 6th, and they are seriously bottom fishing this. Hourly is not oversold, but they like what's going on. Is that an inverse head and shoulders? Yeah, kind of. Not textbook, but yeah, not textbook. Yuck. Okay. What else do we have? Cisco, a big block sell of Cisco at 57.71. One hour held yesterday's low at 57.48 today, and then 57.37. Your resistance on the 15-minute is 57.83 and 58.10. Not only do I monitor the room for potential trades, I also watch Thinkorswim Trade Flash to see if anything excites me. Thanks, MGVZ bounced off monthly support. Why, yes it did. 54.26, 54.56, bounced off to the penny. Gosh, those are the prettiest ones. I hope you got that trade, MG. Your next resistance, 55.34, then the high of day, 55.55. Is there a red flag on the nugget bounce? Any bull breaks without a lot of follow through, then we got to be looking for that bear flag, remember? So it's not happening on elevated bear volume, so no concern yet, but it's also not happening on elevated bull volume. So if it were to lose this low of 34.09, I'd be out. It really needs to clear 34.59 with gusto. So your support's 34.09 and then low of day 33.75. MTLO. Definitely more of an EQ. So I'm going to just zoom out to the daily. So it was more, let's see. It did break. It kind of double topped on yesterday's high is the problem, JR. So yesterday's high was 52 cents and we topped out at 53 cents. That's the problem. Not so much that we couldn't break high of day, is that we couldn't break the high of day yesterday is more of the problem. So 53 cents is your resistance, and then after that 57 cents and then 58, and your support is 49 cents and low of day 435. Let me see this. No RSI trend line. So prior high of day and prior low of day can be your spirit guide, and it's such a good guide. If it breaks yesterday's high with gusto, bullish. If it breaks yesterday's low with gusto, that's bearish. It's just such a great spirit guide. No problem, Bizzle, my nizzle. TLO and Netflix likely to hold yesterday's low. Let me ask the Magic 8 Ball. Let's see, yesterday's low, 305.81. With a daily RSI of 22, I would say yes, but I don't know if this has any news whatsoever. News trumps RSI important, so remember that. It sure does give you a nice bottom fish level, the low of day 306.56 and then yesterday's low 305.81. I'd want the 15-minute RSI to be at least oversold for me to be interested in a bottom fish level. But the daily's just so beat up that yes, it has a higher probability of holding only because of the RSI max, 4-hour RSI 16. In the short term though, they're really cooling off this RSI. That's not good. You don't want to see them walk it down. Walk it down, walk it down, walk it down. You don't want to see that because then we have the cooling off of the RSI, and that does not lend itself to an awesome bottom fish setup. Okay, one more question. Is this SPY 15-minute downtrend intact? Yes, it is intact. So we have our low 298.26, our lower high 298.99, and technically our lower low at 298.22. So 298.99 is the resistance to clear in order to get a trend change on the 15-minute. All right. Well, as always, y'all are a freaking blast. So I will be in the room if y'all have any questions. I love hanging out with y'all, and y'all have a great day. Trade safely out there. See you in the room.